it's Advent, the beginning of a journey. For us, it's a time of preparation for a new understanding of the world and of our lives in it. For those who lived through the first time of preparation and the first journeys of Jesus, geographical, intellectual, and spiritual, it was a time of anticipation and mystery. What was about to happen? Where were they going? Was it their journey or somebody else's? The interim seems long to us, but in God's timelessness, it is always new, always news. We've been on this part of the journey before. We are not about to be surprised. We know we are not about to end up praying before an actual baby in a straw-filled stall. We realize every year that surprise is not an option. The church year is like that. The stories of the Christian gospel are like that. Christmas is like that. How do we think of this time and prepare for the events we know so much about already? I began asking myself questions like these long ago, just about the time that I figured out that one guy, Santa Claus or not, could not get to every house in our neighborhood on one night, let alone our town, our state, or our country. Confronted, my mother confessed that he had helpers on every block, and that because we had no chimney, she would leave the front door unlocked. I was very relieved. Helpers and an open door are obviously excellent ideas for this season. The church cycles back again to bring us the good news. And I must confess that every year, every Sunday, we need it. We've all heard this good news. We've been offered the chance to share it and to live in its grace. But if I'm in a useful measure, we need to be told again and again. Jesus came among us to show us how to be in the world, loving God, that creative energy of the universe, and loving our brothers and sisters who number all the millions in the world. Like most simple admonitions, we find it difficult. In fact, most of us find it overwhelming. But the key is having another chance. And that's what Advent is about. Taken me a long time to figure that out. Of course, you've gone through Advent before, Nayan. Did you learn anything? Is anybody or any place better because of that? Are you any better because of these new chances over and over? Is the story of the birth of Jesus and the good news that he brought going to really get to you this time? I'm writing this on Tuesday afternoon. I've just come from the St. Luke's Food Pantry. It's an every Tuesday lunch program, faithfully in operation for almost 25 years. A bag of canned goods and a meal of hot food is served, handed out now by masked volunteers. Once a sit-down indoor luncheon. The bags are filled and checked by volunteers on Mondays. This week, the events were a little more interesting when the LGPD officer who comes weekly to check things in case of any ripples in our comm discovered that the light fixture in the walk-through passage in the parish hall was hanging by the proverbial thread. Our volunteers had been walking underneath unaware. But our mission was accomplished, and the light, figuratively and physically, remained in place. We parishioners at St. Luke's may not be visited by archangels, as those shepherds were, but we are called to be witnesses. It's not easy to know if the things we do will qualify. But as Paul writes to the Romans, I say to you, we are called to be saints, called to belong to Jesus Christ. We are among those Paul is addressing. According to Matthew's Gospel, Mary and Joseph were told to name the baby Emmanuel. God is with us. And then according to Matthew's Gospel, Joseph named the baby Jesus. When I first realized this discrepancy, it puzzled me, but I now realize that it should relieve me. It's obvious that we can sometimes follow our own decisions and still be given the grace of God. We should all give thanks for that, and for a chance to celebrate the one who reminds us more than once that rules are less important than love. Once again, the holy season has come. We all know this story. Hallelujah.